Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Greg. Welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about Mercury in Vedic Astrology, Thunder Astrology. If anybody's interested in getting a reading, you can go over to greg.thunderwizard.com to get a reading, and I'd be happy to give you one. So Mercury, Mercury is represents our intellect. It represents how we think, our communication with other people. So it really represents that state of mind we're in when we're in our place of business, our profession, because that's the area where we're using our intellect pretty much the most. We're always focusing on how to get the job done. How do we do? What do we got to do? What's the problem we got to solve and all that? We're always discerning different information. So we use Mercury a lot. If we're in a full-time type of a job, we're there for 8 hours a day or more. So we're constantly using that intellectual side of our brains. And, this can create a lot of off balance within people, especially when they leave their job and they come home and they don't really stimulate the other part of the brain, when you're using your intellect, you're more into that into the left side of the brain, which is the logical side, the intellectual side, the ability to reason things out. Whereas the right side of the brain is the more creative side. It's the side that where musicians create music, poets write lyrics, poetry. People draw. It's the state of mind where you go in when you do meditation, yoga, qigong, rituals, things like that. So a lot of people don't really stimulate that right side of the brain. And most of the people in the world are that way. They don't stimulate that part of the brain. So there's this whole disconnection to the universe. People can't relate to loving the earth, to feeling the full moon. Just feeling the changes of the seasons. A lot of stuff like that is there's total disconnection in the world. There is there's a lot of good information within the internet. There's a whole vast array of deep spiritual knowledge within the internet, but at the same time there's a lot of trivial stuff too, and that's the main ruler of the world, is just that trivial type of stuff, where that internet is not used to its advantage to really uplift and expand awareness, expand the intellect. It's more of a superficial type of a thing, and that's what's ruling the world nowadays. So one of the ways that Mercury is really helps us in the world is that it really helps us connect with our higher mind. It's just not the intellect and that ability to really figure out calculations and all that. It really helps us to pick up on the messages of the spiritual world. Within the thunder wheel, Mercury sits in the north, and the north is the first place of manifesting energy that comes into the physical world and begins to take form. And we have Mercury sitting in the north area, which is basically that ability to really pick up on those messages that we're getting from that void, that empty space where energy starts to come in, and we can pick up on it and be able to intuit it, be able to put it into words, and apply it into our lives. And if you're a teacher, you're able to express it to other people, which the Thunder Wizard is really good at interpreting those spiritual energies. You can tell that he has a lot of experience and is able to draw from those experiences and put it into words really good. Sometimes I feel like I can do it, sometimes I don't. I can't really put into words what I'm feeling. I get caught up in shit. I get lost at times. And so where Mercury sits also in your Vedic chart can really affect the way you think, the way you react to different things. Like for instance, mine. I have my Mercury is in my 12th house, and it is in the sign of Gemini, which is good though. Gemini is ruled by Cancer. I mean, Gemini is ruled by Mercury, so it's in its own house. So it's really comfortable there. Gemini is about this. It's a really it has a lot of ability to think in different kinds of ways, quick adaptability. And Mercury period is quick adaptability because it's a fast-moving planet. So it represents this ability to really think. It revolves around the sun really quickly, revolves around our soul. So it does have that capacity to really think really quickly, especially when you're continuously exercising your mental ability. You really start exercising that muscle, that intellectual muscle, and boom, you really start learning how to really use it for your life. And so mine is in the 12th house in the sign of Gemini, but the 12th house is originally ruled by Pisces, which is a water sign. So water signs are connected to the emotions. Excuse me. And the emotions really, they're all about going up and down, up and down, up and down emotions, especially in the sign of Pisces. Pisces is really a sensitive type of a sign. It's really in tune with the moods of everybody around them, in tune with their own moods. It's a mutable sign too. And Mercury is a mutable sign, a mutable planet also as well, meaning that it does feel, one minute it could feel really cool and good and comfortable, and the next minute it's not feeling really good. It's feeling uncomfortable. Similar to the moon, mood swings, type of things. But it really has this capacity to really think a lot, to really to be like a jack of all trades, but a master of none. And when it's in a water sign, Mercury tends to get affected by the emotions, the way it thinks. So that can really affect it for good or bad, where it has a hard time really thinking about things in an objective, detached way, especially for a personal way. Where those when you're first learning how to use your intellect, you can start weighing in the factors of, how are other people going to feel if I make this decision? They're going to feel bad. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this. Especially when I was younger, I was more like that. In relationships with women, I would eventually give in to being a certain way instead of being the way I really want to feel comfortable within my own body. And over time, I would always regret it because I just don't feel comfortable in my own skin, and I see this person feeling really comfortable about this is my own thought, them feeling comfortable about having me act a certain way. And now they feel comfortable. Now I feel uncomfortable. That's not good. But then my own mind is kind of thinking in these emotional ways where I'm like, this person manipulated me. I'm feeling bad about that. I'm getting pissed off now. That's not right. I got to get out of this relationship. At times I wouldn't bother to really talk things over. I wasn't using my intellect to really communicate those thoughts when I was really young. I would just leave. I'd be like, F this, I'm out of here. Got no time for this. At the same time, I'm like, now that I think about it, it's like, well, I didn't make the right decision, I'm the one that gave in to wanting to please somebody else, even though I didn't even talk about it with them, So that's one of the things that Mercury can do to you when it's in a water sign. But, you can overcome those things too. You start getting control of your energy, seeing your chart and learning how to read it and experience those energies, knowing that these certain kinds of primal energies are going to be the first gut reactions that you have, but you don't have to really commit to those. You're just aware of them. And then you learn how to be objective and use Mercury for those more positive ways to help expand yourself. So, I was saying Mercury sits in the north, And it's really that message, the messenger of the gods is Mercury. And when we see synchronicities within nature, this is what we use. We use Mercury to really think about, what was that? Why did that happen right now at this moment when I was thinking this certain thing? Oh, that's why, so and so. So you can figure these things out. So Mercury is a really important part of our intellect, but it's also an important part of our higher mind too. It's not just that intellectual thing. So it's something we can use. All the planets are all good for us to use. So that's all I wanted to talk about. If anybody's interested in getting a Thunder Astrology reading, you can still go to greg.thunderwizard.com. I'm still offering 25% off. So I'll leave the link on the bottom too. And I hope you guys have a good one. Peace.